13 on your sidelines. Sponsored by Rand Insurance Group. A better path forward.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sidelines Plus, where we focus on some of the biggest sports headlines in West Michigan and show you some of the high school highlights you may have missed throughout the week. I'm Matt Gard, along Jacob Seus and Maddie Monroe. Really appreciate you guys.
We missed you.
Yes, I missed you
so
too,
much.
and I was so glad you used my bird
We
picture.
showed your birds. You were out in the wilderness. You were out on bird assignment.
That's right. I
Bird
was on
assignment.
bird assignment, and we've got a lot going on this week. We look forward to the Meyer LPGA Classic and the fan favorite returning to town, plus former Michigan Mr. Basketball Fat Brooks. He's out of the transfer portal, and he's reuniting with someone special at his new school. And a U of M softball advances to the NCAA tournament. We talked to a Hudsonville native about the Wolverines' season so far. But you know the deal. The first thing we have to start with is the NFL. It's the biggest story, Jacob. And the Lions' schedule got released this week, so that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I'd say it's one of the biggest days on the offseason calendar. Lions 17-game slate released, and there are some good ones. Detroit is going to start the season this year on the road out at Lambeau. 2 division games to kick things off. They then come right back home. It's a reunion with Ben Johnson and the Bears in the home opener. We're talking about 5 primetime games on the slate this year. 2 of them coming at home on Monday Night Football against the Buccaneers, and then another one on Thursday Night Football against the Cowboys. The other primetime games will come against the Baltimore Ravens. Monday Night Football, that one will air right here on WZZM. Then you get the 2 conference champions from last year, the Eagles and the Chiefs. Lions have to go to both of them on the road. Both games Sunday Night Football. And then finally, besides the normal Thanksgiving game, which the Lions will host the Packers this year, they're also going to play on Christmas. For the first time since 1999, they're going to head to Minnesota, take on J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. And guys, I felt bad for the Lions when this was released because they not only have to work on Thanksgiving like they normally do, now they have to work on Christmas. And then I thought, these guys make millions of dollars. It doesn't matter. They can work the holidays. And much like here on the local news business, where we don't make millions of dollars, there's a lot of people in our newsroom who will also be working Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we now have something in common with Jared Goff.
And I will gladly work Jared Goff hours if it means that I get paid his salary.
Yeah.
So you can take that straight to our
Christmas,
bosses.
Thanksgiving, Arbor Day, Memorial Day,
Flag Day,
George Washington's birthday.
Sure.
I'll work all of it.
You know, a lot of people like this schedule release because they get that concrete right in front of them, and they get to make their predictions about how good they think the Lions might be. Do you have a record prediction?
Yeah, the Lions are going to win, I think, less games than they did last year. They went 15-2, and their road schedule is ridiculous. You have to go to Baltimore, Kansas City, Philadelphia. Just based off that, they're still going to win 12 or 13 games, but to win 15 again, that's a lot to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maddie, a lot of West Michigan fans hoping to see Unity Christian grad Isaac Teslaa hit the field with the Lions this fall.
Yeah, Matt, and last week the Lions began their rookie mini camp, and for the first time, Teslaa put on his very own Lions jersey. Because Detroit traded up to get him, Teslaa was certainly the center of attention. The former Crusader showed off his size and his hands in the 7-on-7 portion of practice, making a few nice grabs, and he says he's on a mission to prove to this organization that they made the right move by going to get him. And here's what he had to say when we talked to him after practice.
What's it feel like to have your own Lions jersey to wear now?
It feels great, number 18.
What was it like just to put that on, put the helmet on, be out here? Obviously, we know the story. You've been a fan of this franchise for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's a surreal thing, man. It feels amazing. Obviously, he was talking about me coming in on my visit wearing my custom jersey I got a few years ago. But it's much better, like you said, to be wearing my own number with my name on the back and just go out here and make plays and just learn the offense and just be a part of this. It's awesome.
This isn't your first time taking a big step from Hillsdale to Arkansas. How can that transition help you at this next level here?
Yeah, I'd say, you're going to go out there and just give it your best. You're not going to win every rep. It's a whole nother level to the ball game. So just learning what works for you, watching tape, and just continually learning and improving off what you don't do well and continue to build on what you do well.
Cross training is so huge here, and just playing inside and outside. How important is that for you to learn both and show that you can play both just to improve your options?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about versatility. I'd say, playing special teams is another huge thing. So just special teams, playing inside, playing outside, I want to make sure I learn the whole playbook. So it gives me the best opportunity to go out there on the field.
What do you think of the offense?
I love it so far. I mean, obviously very basic stuff day one, but I'm excited.
Going back to draft night, what was your reaction, family's reaction? Obviously enjoying the moment, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm sure you saw the video my mom posted. She's all excited. She got a million some views on it, and she got some followers, so she thinks she's an influencer now or something. But, it was amazing. Obviously, the TV was a little delayed, so I didn't even see the Lions trade up, and all of a sudden I'm getting a call from a 313 number. And I just about passed out. I mean, I couldn't hardly believe it. I stood up, and everyone was still talking. I was like, everybody shut up. And I picked up the call, and he said, this is Brad Holmes, GM with the Detroit Lions. And I almost fell to the ground. So, I mean, it was very surreal. I don't know if I remember a single word that anyone said to me after that point. I was just kind of in a daze, but very excited, very emotional time. Obviously, if I could have chosen any team, it'd be here. So I'm just, like I said, grateful to be here.
Just like Ray Agnew this morning, he was also saying, you're born to be a Lion. How do you feel when you hear him saying stuff like that?
I mean, I'm right there with him. I think this is where I was born to be, and God's blessed me with the opportunity to come out here and be a part of it.
What's the biggest thing you want to show this weekend?
Just show I'm dependable. I'm smart. You can throw me out there, and I'm going to make plays.
Have you spoke to any of the receivers, any veterans at all? They talked to you at all?
Yeah, Amon-Ra reached out to me after the draft. He texted me. We texted back and forth a little bit, and then I saw him in the food court this morning, so it's cool.
When you were at Hillsdale, what do you think your odds were of making it?
Yeah, I try not to think too much in the future, kind of live in the present, obviously do everything I could to set myself up to get to this level at some point. Obviously, I was making plays out there and I knew I was talented, but you never know how it's going to translate. So for me, it was just focusing on the things I continually needed to improve on. And then if it was the Lord's will, I would end up here someday.
Was there a moment where you were like, I know I can make it?
When I was old enough to think, I was always thinking I was going to be an NFL player. So.
Was that in a yearbook or something? Like you said, you want to play for the Lions or something at some point?
Yeah, that was from my senior year. They did some question thing. It was, what professional team would you play for? And of course, it was the Detroit Lions. So
You've played at Ford Field before. I mean, how special would it be this time running out of the tunnel, with the actual Lions jersey?
Yeah, I mean that was a dream in and of itself to go out there and win a state championship in Ford Field. Little did I know I'd be back a little bit later wearing a Lions jersey. So I'm just ecstatic. Grateful for the opportunity and excited to get out there.
It's one thing to get a text from Amon-Ra, but to actually meet him and be eye to eye with him. I mean, what was that moment like today? Did he share any words of wisdom as a guy who was kind of mid to late round draft pick now coming into the situation?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk more later. It was more of just like how you doing in passing, because we were sitting at different tables, and but that's someone I'm really going to look up to. Obviously, I love the way he plays the game. I love his process. So I'd say everyone in the room, I just have so much to learn from, and I'm just going to be a sponge.
Maddie, you got the chance to interview Isaac a few weeks ago, just prior to the draft. Obviously, at that point, he had no idea he was going to be a Detroit Lion someday. But as you watch that press conference, you see he's confident, he's poised, he seems like a foot taller, and he's already a tall guy. What's your reaction to seeing that?
Seeing him in that Honolulu blue is very exciting. I think we're all pretty excited to have someone from the West Side here playing on the Lions. We haven't really had that in a while, so that's super fun. And it's fun to see his energy, and it's kind of been growing as he's been doing these press conferences. I know we aired a little bit of the Zoom that he did right after, and he was still, you could tell there was still a lot of nerves. It was still a lot of excitement, but now that he's kind of getting in the groove of it, it's very, very cool to see.
We are switching to hockey, and out on the lakeshore, the Muskegon Lumberjacks are getting ready to host their first Clark Cup Finals game in a decade. When we recorded this episode, the Jacks and Waterloo Blackhawks were tied at 1 game apiece in the Clark Cup Finals after the first 2 games in Iowa. The series now turns to Ski Town for Game 3 and 4. Those games will be Friday, May 16th at 7:10 p.m. and Saturday, May 17th at 6:10 p.m. If necessary, Game 5 will be on Tuesday, May 20th, back in Waterloo. Hopefully it won't be necessary and the Jacks can get it done at home, guys. A Hudsonville native is playing in her first ever NCAA softball tournament this week. Up next on Sidelines Plus, we talk to Megan Beamer about what she's learned in her freshman season with the Michigan Wolverines.
13 on your sidelines. Sponsored by Rand Insurance Group. A better path forward.
Welcome back to Sidelines Plus. Unity Christian has been a powerhouse in girls soccer, and this week the Crusaders look to keep their undefeated season going, Jacob.
Yeah, Matt, they came into Monday's game against Zeeland East with a 12-0-2 record, and barely a minute and a half in, Kyla Kubrysky all alone keeps it herself around the keeper into the empty net. Heck of a goal to make it 1-0. And less than 3 minutes after that, she does it again. This time turns and fires a little less complicated. Her second goal in the first 6 minutes, and she's just a sophomore. Later in the first half, she decides to pass. She gets an assist. This time the goal by Michigan State commit Ava Lutke. Top shelf make it 3-0 Unity Christian. Lutke would get one more in the half as Unity stays undefeated with a dominant 9-1 victory over the Chicks.
To the Diamond, where Lowell took on Sparta in the River Cities Alliance baseball action. Bottom of the first, runners on second and third for Aaron Dixon. Bloop single to left center field. That scores Landon Reister, makes it 1-0 Sparta. Not long after that, the Red Arrows look to pick off Tyler Pangborn at third. It's going into the outfield, and Pangborn scores, standing up 2-0 Spartans. Later in the inning, Sparta attempts a double steal. Not going to work. Johnny Pike cuts off the throw. Great play. Throws out the runner at home. Sparta would win the first game 4-0. Lowell won game 2 4-1.
Yeah, an NCAA tournament baseball is coming to both Davenport and GVSU. The Panthers won the conference thanks to a Sam Clay walk-off over Wayne State. Now the regional is double elimination, where Davenport will go up against UIndy and Ashland. Down the road, GVSU baseball will also be hosting after the Lakers were named a 2 seed in the other Midwest Regional. That is a 4-team bracket that includes Missouri S&T, Lewis, and Northwood. Games will begin on Thursday with both the Lakers and Davenport looking to advance to the Super Regional round of the NCAA tourney.
S&T, they got some wild names.
Yeah, those are some names.
What does S&T stand for?
I don't know.
Smart.
Put it on. Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be a
kids.
smart people school.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they're in Missouri, so I don't know if
in tech, right?
put the two together.
You went to school in Missouri.
Yeah,
smart kid school. Well, smart for journalism.
If you want to say that, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm smart in an S&T, whatever that means, type of way. But
well, this is a smart school. The University of Michigan softball team will begin the NCAA tournament Friday in Austin, Texas. It's the first NCAA tournament appearance for Hudsonville native Megan Beamer. And Maddie, you got to talk to the freshman about how excited she is for this opportunity.
Yeah, Matt Beamer hasn't gotten much playing time yet this year, but it's been quite the learning experience for her so far.
This season has been a whirlwind. We've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows. But coming tournament time, we have just been super confident in our play and playing Michigan softball. We started the season down in Florida, and we were on the road for about 35 games straight. So that's super tough as a team, but knowing just how to work through that, knowing how to work with like away stadiums, that's also a challenge. So just knowing how to just stick together and play Michigan softball, and then come tournament time is like where we want to get most confidence, and that definitely showed this past weekend. It's a definitely surreal feeling, but the leadership from this program has really flourished. These senior captains have been amazing to both the freshmen and underclassmen all the way up to the juniors and fifth years. But coming tournament time, it's a great feeling to get selected. I mean, we knew we had an automatic bid coming from winning the Big Ten tournament, but going into the Big Ten tournament, we didn't know if we were going to get picked if we didn't win that tournament. And so knowing that we were automatically bidded into the tournament and heading to Austin next week, we're super excited. Coming as a freshman, it's tough coming to a big college like this, but I knew what I signed up for as soon as I committed to the university. And so just knowing my role as a teammate and as a player, maybe I'm not the starter like I was at Hudsonville, but just knowing how I can impact the team by cheering, or I could also be like a pinch hitter, pinch runner, just doing whatever the team needs, especially in this season, especially in this atmosphere of our time where it's lose or go home, just knowing what I can do for the team and just being there like they are for me. Going into tournaments where we're away, we're having challenge like against their fans in their home home crowd advantage, that's tough. But just knowing how we can play Michigan softball and we stick to our approach and our progress, and we don't really worry about who we're playing on the other side. Yes, we scout, and yes, we know who we're playing on the other side of the field, but just knowing that we play Michigan softball, and if we do our job well, like, good things will happen. I'm just really excited to see the atmosphere of Texas. I mean, I know their fans like are some of the best fans in the country, and I know our fans travel well too. So just seeing that atmosphere will be really cool. And I mean, just getting to travel with the team, it's been an awesome experience all season being able to travel the country, but going to a different part where we haven't been before is really exciting. I'd say, I mean, like, work your butt off and know that when you do get to college, like the easy part like is over. Like, this is where it gets hard. And just like knowing that, like, if you are committing to any level to play softball, it's going to be like a work in progress, and it's going to be hard physically, emotionally, mentally. But being able to work through those times and knowing it's going to be hard, but you're going to come out better on the other end, like, that's just my main advice for younger athletes. A big motto we've had is just playing for 8, and that means like the 8 letters across your chest. Playing for Michigan is like a huge sense of pride. I mean, it carries a lot of weight just knowing like the Block M is a very highly recognized thing across the country. And so playing for 8 means like playing for the alumni that's come before us, playing for the players that have set this high standard for our program, and also playing for like the future generations and keeping the standard upheld.
She give you one of these, Maddie?
No, she didn't.
Horns down?
Horns down. She talked about, she hasn't gotten a lot of playing time yet, but she talked about being a good teammate to her teammates. And softball seems like one of those sports where you can be that from the dugout, even though you're not in the game, because they've got all that chatter, all those songs, all those chants. What was your impression talking to her?
Yeah, she is a not only very impressive athlete, but just an impressive person. I mean, I was very impressed with the fact that she's a college freshman. I mean, obviously she goes to U of M, so she's very smart. But, we had a great conversation. She kind of went over, the entire season, how it's gone for her. And what they're kind of looking forward to now. And obviously they want to come home with a win at the end of the day, but they're kind of just looking forward to making the best of it.
Very good. By the way, that school we mentioned earlier, it's Missouri Science and Technology, thanks to Director Extraordinaire Abby Smith and also our Sidelines Plus official researcher.
You learn something new every day on the show.
Yes, you do. From a current U of M athlete to a former Wolverine, Grand Rapids Catholic Central graduate, and former Michigan Mr. Basketball, Fat Brooks announced he's transferring to Central Michigan. Fat got into 15 games for the Wolverines this past season, only managed 12 points. Still, this is a huge get for CMU's first-year head coach, especially after losing Northview grad Kyler Vanderjagt, who transferred to Toledo. And this is pretty cool for Fat because he gets to play with his older brother, Jordan Brooks, who is transferring from Ferris State to Central. Jordan spent 3 seasons in Big Rapids and was a redshirt sophomore this past season. Guys, it's got to be really cool to be able to play with your brother, not only in high school, as we're seeing in this video right here, but in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that had to be one of the biggest reasons Fat wanted to transfer to Central, among other reasons. But, obviously Jordan had the relationship with Andy Bronkema coming over from Ferris. And play with your brother, how cool is that? And Fat has a chance to be a star at Central.
Yeah.
Good thing for the Brooks family. Congratulations. It is one of the biggest sports spectacles in West Michigan, and somebody on this very set got to be a part of it. Up next on Sidelines Plus, the sights and sounds from the Amway Riverbank Run.
On your sidelines, sponsored by Rand Insurance Group, a better path forward.
Welcome back to Sidelines Plus. We are about 1 month away from the 11th Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give, and Jacob, their executive director, really expects a strong field this year.
Just like every year, and fan favorite Lexi Thompson, she's actually coming back to the Blythefield Country Club this year. Thompson, she got her flowers at last year's tournament. We all thought she was retiring. It wound up being a semi-retirement. She's come back to play a few events this year, and the 2015 winner will be back in Belmont this June. And yeah, this tournament has quickly become one of the biggest non-major events on the tour. Set major attendance records last year, and speaking of that field, defending champ Lily Avu, she's going to return along with 2022 champ Jennifer Kupko and two-time major winner Brittany Lincecum. She was at Blythefield this week, calling this one of her favorite spots on the LPGA calendar.
The fans are, 3-4 rows deep when you come play this event, which is really cool to see the community coming together and really supporting the LPGA. Sometimes we go to venues where, maybe they don't know about the LPGA or a new event, and this one, everyone always comes out. We want you to bring your family, bring your kids. It's a family event, and we're so grateful that they come out.
And the tournament will be held from June 12th through the 15th, once again wrapping up on Father's Day.
Another big annual event in Grand Rapids, the Amway Riverbank Run, which wrapped up this past weekend. 13 on your side photojournalist Matt Main was there to capture the sights and sounds of one of the biggest events of the year.
This is the 48th annual Amway Riverbank Run, and as you can see right now, there's all kinds of people getting ready to run. This is huge. This is the largest one-day sporting event in West Michigan.
3, 2, 1, 0.
I'm cheering on my friends from college, Ellie and Clara. They're pretty active people, so I wasn't surprised that they started running. They just kind of wanted to get in better shape, and this race was a great motivator for them.
I ran my first one in 1983, I think. I kind of lost track of how many I got now.
As a young kid, a lot of my neighbors would run this race, and I kind of thought I had missed my opportunity. Then I got into running about 10 years ago and had that opportunity, so I've taken it ever since.
They're trying to set a personal record, and it just means so much to them. So there's emotions everywhere. There's hugs, there's tears, there's everything you can imagine.
You end up running with total strangers, and it's a short bond, but it's always good to have somebody to talk to with your running.
Everybody cheers for everybody, regardless if you're running a 14-minute mile or you're running a 7-minute mile. Everybody cheers for everybody here.
It just lets people know that you're there for them, and that they have people on their side and cheering them on.
A number of 13 on your side employees ran the Riverbank Run. Someone you may have, if you have a keen eye, you may have noticed political reporter Josh Albertus, director Bill Harold does this run every year. And Jacob, you did the 10K. Check this out.
Oh, that's me.
Like we pointed this out during the break, you did it in a hoodie.
Yeah, it was really cold. I had to make a decision. It's like when you go to the bar in the dead of winter and you have to make the decision, do you wear the jacket to the bar to stay cold while you're walking, but then you're hot on the inside, or do
you've got your cute clothes
on
or
do you suffer for the walk and then have the cute clothes on? Well, I chose to keep my cute clothes hidden, and I went with the hoodie, and I probably regretted it about halfway through, but man, at 6:30 in the morning, it's cold. It's cold out there.
You never quite know where you're going on this show. I did not expect the bar analogy, but
it's.
What did you?
It's the truth.
What did you think seeing the crowd?
It was so fun. Honestly, I knew how exciting it was going to be going into it, and it was more than I ever could have thought. I would describe the beginning of the race, though, honestly, to like driving through West Michigan during the summer. It was just like one big traffic jam. There was nowhere to go, just almost like too many people in one area. But once you get through, I mean, you go through all the streets, if you take a moment to look at the sites, all the bands were there, GVSU's band, a bunch of high school bands, which was really cool. Definitely a really cool experience.
So you mentioned that to me. I was a band kid in high school. I never played at a race. And I never would have guessed that. And I was like, that is so cool. Now, Maddie, you're training for a big run. Did you guys ever hoof it together?
No. I don't want to. Maddie would probably.
No, I don't think so.
Right past me. So
I did. Yeah, but I started officially training on Thursday. And we'll see how it goes. I have a 5K with friends in September, and then I have a half marathon in October.
I will just plain and simple, running stinks.
It does.
I agree. That's why I don't do it.
It's just like, it is not for the, I don't know, the mentally sane. I've said that before on this show.
It's nice sometimes. So. I woke up Thursday morning, took a nice little run, like 7 a.m., watched the sunrise.
It was a little chilly out. Probably felt good once you were going.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Very good. Well, that is all for us on this edition of Sidelines Plus. Be sure to tune in for another episode next week. Shout out to Missouri S&T.